I'm sure you've heard about the benefits of being a calmer and more connected teacher. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the whys of becoming a calmer and connected teacher and the hows of doing that. So the first is why. You know this really, but shouting a great deal in your classroom or disconnecting and not connecting with individuals who are perhaps struggling in your classroom isn't very effective. It's not going to be effective because when you don't connect with your children in the classroom, they're not receptive to receiving information from you. Right? When they're in the classroom in body but not in spirit and connection with you, they are not able to learn from you. You have not opened the channels through which they can learn from you. So first of all, it's not effective. Yeah, and if you want to be effective in passing over the years of understanding that you've gained, then you have to find a way to help this feel relevant and interesting. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do that through your relationship. Your relationship is the key starting building block. Now, the second thing is something, we talk about this in relation to parents, but you as a teacher have a role in your pupils' brain development. So often teachers are spending more time with pupils than their parents actually are. And as such, when you communicate with your children in a way that they are just frustrating or irritating or just need to get on with it and you miss the relationship piece, you're communicating something to them which they're taking in and absorbing and feeling about themselves in the world, which is going to impact not just themselves right now, but also as they go forward into their relationships with their friends, with their relationships with their family, their relationships in the future as partners and future parents. The importance that you communicate to them in the moment, in those everyday moments in the classroom, are things that they are taking in and that are shaping their self-view that will have long-standing impact through the patterns and pathways that get wired. Now, that's a big responsibility, and it's a big responsibility when you're in a classroom and feeling unsupported yourself. But just to know that this is important, and therefore to think about how do I support myself to become the teacher that I want to be, the teacher who's more connected in this situation, is a really important and meaningful task. Now, final why, it's going to feel a lot better. Yeah, arriving in the classroom feeling stressed, becoming shouty, becoming overwhelmed, rising to the challenges that young people can absolutely present to teachers in the classroom. It can be very, very stressful, can't it? However, if you go in with an intention and clarity, that before your intention to teach is your goal to connect and to create an atmosphere in your classroom which is going to be conducive to learning, you're going to feel a lot better. Your job is going to feel a whole lot less stressful. Now, I really don't underestimate the challenges of that, and I know how difficult that is to do when you feel that you're carrying that intention and that desire for a shift of culture in the classroom on your own. But share this video with someone else that you think might be feeling the same, because as you start to take action and start talking about things like relationship health and an I'm Right approach, you are going to be shifting what's happening in the space around you. You're a role model, not just to your pupils, but you're also a role model to the other people in your school. And it's through that process, through this ripple effect process, that we can allow relationship health and an I Matter approach to start shifting cultures. There's some big things, in my view, having been a teacher and been a psychologist, there's some really big things that need to be changing in our thinking about the role of education. But you can be part of that process, and love you to come and learn more about it. Now, the how do you become a calmer and more connected teacher in this very, very challenging type of environment that you'll often be working in? The first is I really encourage you to make some time for preparation. I know you must, and that you've got so much on your plate, but a little bit of time taken to step back from what's actually happening in the day-to-day rush of classroom life will give you some tools and some insights to help you navigate this very high-pressure situations. So it's not just regular CPD, learning about relationship health and an I Matter approach. It's much more closer to personal development, personal growth. And so taking some time to do that is going to strengthen you for your roles in the classroom. It's going to strengthen you for what's going on at home. It's going to strengthen you for thinking about this yourself in work and home relationships. The second how of staying calmer is there's some real key skills These key skills come from developing your self-awareness and your understanding, not just of what's happening in incidents in regard to what the child did, but also what you were bringing to that scenario. And using your understanding of children's development, which is incredibly important, but again, very often overlooked in the training of teachers, using our understanding of children's development and things like the impact of trauma, but also the importance of how you can use your own relationship with specific children to be able to navigate some of the most challenging moments so that they become opportunities for growth. So these are skills, these are real practical skills that you can develop through making a decision that they matter to you, because they're going to help you, first and foremost, be more effective and more confident. The final one is practice over and over again. But, you know, if we want to get fit, we think about going to the gym, our muscles don't build. But if we want our skills for relationship health and an I-Meta approach to build, then we have to make time to practice. We have to do the work. We have to be doing the learning. We have to do the thinking. And then when these incidents happen, we have opportunities to learn. Now, one of the things I really like about this approach is that means that pretty much any incident that can happen, which, you know, you can think of it as thinking, oh my goodness, what on earth has happened here? Each of those incidents, even the most stressful, gives you opportunities to learn. Sometimes it's going to be very obvious to you when you step back from it and think, yeah, I think I could probably have done it differently. This, you know, maybe if I tried it this way, it would have worked differently. Sometimes it's going to take you longer to process through a situation and more depth to dig down into kind of what you were bringing into a scenario, what possibly other people were bringing into the situation. But as a result, there's some really rich learning that's going to happen, that's going to deepen your skills, deepen your confidence, deepen your effectiveness. And genuinely, I say, it feels better. And if you can do that as part of a community of people who are sharing these ideas and sharing that thinking, it's going to be much more rewarding too. So I really encourage you to learn about relationship health and an I-Meta approach for your role in the classroom or as a teacher. Let us know if you've got questions.